Good morning, everybody. Devin, the solar dude here. Hope you're having a great morning. This morning, I wanted to talk about closing the sale. So you gave the customers an amazing presentation. It's making a ton of sense. They're telling you it's making a ton of sense, but they still need to think about it or some other objection. Now, just as a general principle, you want to try and close the deal at least 8 times, and then you want to get a manager TO before you leave the house or get off the Zoom call. This is extremely important, guys. Solar is a big decision. There's a lot to it. There's a lot that the customer could have missed. You need to have the idea in your head that, hey, I'm going to try at least 8 times. You could write it down. You can have a checklist, whatever you want to make sure that you try at least 8 times and then do a manager TO before you leave the house. Guys, this is super important for your success. I can't tell you how many customers, after having a conversation with them for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, they decide to do it because it's just it's a better option than what they're doing now, right? Why wouldn't they want to do it? But if you leave the house and they don't move forward, the chances of them doing it are very slim. People get busy. It is a big decision. And the chances reduce drastically, like 80% or something like that. So, when a homeowner doesn't go solar, everyone loses. You lose, the homeowner loses, the environment loses, right? So we want to help as many people as possible. So let's get into it. So when you lead the customer into the loan docs, they might give you an objection. It's probably going to be, I need to think about it, or I need to sleep on it, right? At that point, take a step back, relax, re-explain the benefits. Be like, I totally understand, Mr. Customer, makes perfect sense. I just want to reiterate everything we went over. And then take your time and go over how it's going to build value in your house, how they're going to be locking in a low electricity rate, how they're going to get money from the federal government. How instead of having to pay the utility companies and have their rates go up every year, they're going to be locked in and they're going to take that same amount of money they're paying anyways or less and be paying themselves. So go over all the benefits and make sure they understand they're not going to have two bills. They're simply reallocating funds, a rent payment for electricity for an ownership payment of electricity, okay? If they still need to think about it, ask them, be like, guys, what's your main concern? What is holding you back? And they will tell you and be like, other than that, is there anything else holding you back? Guys, what is it? Because I know this, this is a good decision. I know you sound interested in it. What's that one thing that's holding you back? And really kind of press, because a lot of people don't want to tell you what that one thing is for whatever reason. So really kind of press on them and be like, hey, what is that one thing that's holding you back? And then overcome that objection and reclose. Okay, so the third close you can use. Tell them a story of another customer who's going through the same thing as they are. So if they need to think about it or they need to sleep on it, tell them the story of another customer that you set up with solar. Hey, Jan down the road, she said the exact same thing that you're saying, Mr. Customer. They want to sleep on it, they want to think of it. But then, we ended up talking a little bit more about it, and they realized that, hey, I'm not paying any more for this. It's zero down, as long as I get qualified, right? I actually save a little bit of money every month. So that's a little bit of money in my pocket, which is great. And I'm just reallocating those funds, right? They realized that it wasn't a big deal at all. It's just a new way of getting their electricity. Kind of took the pressure off of them. They found that it was a good choice. So let's get you set up, guys. First, we just need to see if we can get you qualified. So that's a third close you can use. And I'm going through these really quickly, right? You obviously want to elaborate on these more and put more thought and effort into them, right? But, I just want to go through them so you guys have some ideas and some things to practice. Okay, so that's 3 closes. Fourth close. Hey, I totally understand, Mr. Customer. Before I go, I just want to show you some of our reviews and some testimonials. Go on Google, search Aura Solar. Start going through the 5-star reviews. Reiterate that, you and your company is 100% focused on customer service, and you're going to be with them step by step through the process. Make sure that they're at ease. Show them some testimonial videos. You can use my testimonial videos if you don't have them. Show them some of your friends on Facebook who went solar. Just show them social proof that, hey, you can be comfortable doing business with me, guys. You're in good hands. After you do that and talk to them about that a little bit, then reclose. Okay, great, guys. Now that your mind is at ease, let's try and get you approved, right? So that's the fourth close. Let's move on to number 5. Show them the solar calculator. We have a solar calculator in the system that you can show them exactly how much they'll be paying for electricity if they stick with the utility company versus how much they'll be paying for solar. When they see the numbers, it just makes a ton of sense. Show them the numbers and be like, guys, don't you see why it's a no-brainer, why everyone goes solar and all your neighbors are doing it, Mr. Customer? And they should agree with that, and then reclose. So that's 5. So moving on to the 6th close. Reaffirm strongly, be like, guys, I understand you're a bit hesitant, but let me tell you about what's going on with these electricity companies. I know we covered it in the presentation, but I just want to touch on it. Your electricity rates are going up every year, and then do the math for them. You already played the game and showed them where their rates were going over the year, so find out what their rate was in like year 5, multiply that by 12, and show them how much they'll be paying for electricity per year, and ask them, sir, wouldn't you rather take that money and pay yourself? I mean, look what you're going to be paying in 10 years. You're going to be paying $3,000 for electricity. Where's that $3,000 you're going to be paying per year going? And they'll tell you, oh, it's going nowhere. It's going to the electricity company. Exactly, sir. Wouldn't you rather take that money and own something? I mean, and then you can even go into the story of California, right? In California, there's retirees who need to sell their house because they can't afford electricity, right? The rates out in California, sometimes they're at 40 cents. People are having to pay $1,000 just to keep the lights on and keep the AC running in the summer. $1,000, and they're being forced to sell their house. This is a very real problem, and solar is the very real solution for you, sir. We're locking in your low rate, so you don't need to worry about having to pay more and more year after year after year. It's very important for your future that we do this, guys. So kind of show them the numbers on the rates, and talk about California, and then after you guys have a conversation about that, reclose them again. Now, just a quick tip, guys, while you're doing these closes, you're just not going straight into a close and then reclosing them, right? That's annoying. People aren't going to like that. They're going to feel pressured, right? You're also building rapport with them. You're talking about their family. You're talking about yourself and your family, right? So you're mixing rapport building and building that relationship. It's not like you're just going through all of these one after the other, after the other, after the other, trying to close them, right? I don't think that's the best way to do things, right? This is all about relationship building, and it's all about putting the customer at ease. Okay, so how many do we have so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was 6. Okay, next one you can try is you can be like, hey, we went solar with Jake, the next town over. Let's give him a call. I know you're a little on the fence and still need to think about it. Let's give him a call and see how he's liking his solar system, right? So you can call him up. At that point, if you don't have anyone to call, you can show the electricity bills. Guys, I just want to show you some electricity bills so you know exactly what this system is going to do for you. Show them the electricity bills that you have in the folder. There's 5 in there that you can use. And then at that point, reiterate, see, this person isn't paying anything for electricity. They actually got credits, and just reaffirm to make sure they completely understand what they're doing. And then after that sinks in, reclose. Okay, so that's 7 and 8. Okay, 8 could be giving them something, right? You've exhausted, that value building by this point, right? You've tried, 7 different times. Let's give them an incentive. Hey, Mr. Customer, I understand, you want to do this. I understand you're interested, but you're still on the fence a little bit. I'm going to make this really easy for you. I can't do this for everyone, but, I want to help you out, and I want you to go solar. In exchange for this, though, I am going to need something in return. I am going to need a 5-star Google review and a post on Nextdoor, okay? But what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to pay for the first 6 months of your electricity bill, right? So you're not going to have to worry about that at all. We're going to cover that, and we're going to help you out. Sound good? So you can, throw in an extra incentive at the end. And then the last one, guys, if you still can't get them to sign up and get set up, then you can explain to them, guys, I understand you're a little bit on the fence. There's a 3-day cancellation period in this contract, right? So you have all the time in the world to think about it. You can think about tonight, tomorrow morning, the next day, the day after that. You guys can still think about this while I'm in the area, so I don't have to drive all the way out here. We don't have to waste any of your time rescheduling. Let's get you signed up. right? So we can take care of all the hard part today. And then if for some reason tomorrow you decide you do not want to do this anymore, no problem. We can just cancel the contract, no big deal. So we can do that. So that's like a last Hail Mary dish effort. You can do at the end as well, as long as, as well as give them the 6 months free. You can drop the price. Towards the end here, you want to kind of go as low as you can go and, see what you can do to help them out. And then if all else fails, call your manager, right? Call your manager, be like, hey guys, well, before I leave, I want to call my manager real quick. This usually doesn't happen to me. Usually when I meet with people, everyone goes solar because, they see it's such a great decision. But let me just call my manager. You can even say I'm required to do so and be like, okay guys, I gotta call my manager, I'm sure they love you by this point. You've been super nice and helpful to them. So they're like, bummer, Devin has to call his manager. Anyways, call your manager, let them know, be like, hey, Mary and John, they're really interested in this, but they're just not ready to move forward, blah, 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 blah. I don't know, how else we can help them, sir. Can you jump on the phone with them and help out? And then your manager will jump on the phone with them and try again, see if there's something you missed and try and reclose them and try to get them to sign up. So that covers it, guys. Those are 8, 9, simple closes that you can use. Figure out what you like to say in your style. Everyone's different, but that gave you a really good idea of what to do. But just remember, guys, try 8 times and then a manager TO every single time. It's super important, and you'll see a lot more success doing it that way every single time.